Hi everybody, I'm Mike Garska with SuccessToolChest.com and FindAMentor.com. Welcome to this week's Help Me Communicate, where I help you become a better communicator. This week we're going to talk about communicating in the form of mentoring. Are you being a good mentor? Mentoring happens naturally throughout our lives. Mentoring's happening at work, in your workplace right now. If you're a leader, are you being a good mentor to your group of employees? Are you supporting them well? Like I said, mentoring's happening naturally, whether we like it or not. As a child, we begin our journey as a mentee by looking up to older siblings or cousins and wanting to emulate some of those aspects in their personality that we like. That's basically what being a mentee is admiring people and looking at the different aspects in that person that we admire, that we want to incorporate into our personality or into our lives. I haven't met a mentor that I want to be exactly like, but I've met many people in my life. I have many mentors, and they have aspects in their personality or in their skill set that I want to adapt into my life and into how I do things. When we move into the workforce, there's co-workers that are leading by example, or there's bosses or owners that we admire and have aspects in their personality or in their skill set that we want to emulate. So mentoring is happening naturally. People are using us as mentors all the time. Who are you mentoring right now in life and at work? Who are your mentors at work? Who are you admiring? Who are you silently using as a mentor, or even formally using as a mentor? Mentoring is happening. Is the mentoring in your workplace effective? What's being mentored? What's the culture in your workplace? Is productivity being mentored? Is good communication practice being mentored? Is teamwork being mentored? Are people being trained as effectively or well as they could be? When you give people a place to grow and you support them, your team will shine. The team will outperform the competition. They'll have a happy work environment. People will want to come to work. They'll be part of a happy team. And you will all have some fun when you create that good work environment. And mentoring is always part of a healthy work environment. When the mentoring is guided, it makes us feel, makes the work environment better. It makes us feel appreciated. It makes us feel like part of a team. We all have a basic need to be appreciated. We all have a basic need to learn something. In today's information technology world, we're always learning something. And that's what being a mentee is learning new things. But in a work environment, as a leader, you are responsible for how your team performs and how they learn and how they feel appreciated. And when people are learning and when people are feeling appreciated for what they're doing and the accomplishments, the team gels more. As a leader, that's your responsibility, to make sure that people are having those basic needs met of learning and of feeling appreciated. Do you want your people to function like a well-oiled machine? Or do you want them to sputter along and struggle? Would you like to make more money or be more efficient? The more productive you and your team are, the more money you'll all make and the more money the company will make. Take advantage of the mentoring that's happening and fine-tune it. I'm going to give you some tips today on how to communicate in mentoring. First, I want to talk about Socratic mentoring. How many people have heard of Socrates? Socrates was a famous philosopher. And the way he mentored his students, he was famous for sitting in a square in Venice and having his students sit around him, and he would ask them questions. The Socratic method of mentoring is all about asking questions. Socrates would ask his mentees questions to get them to think on their own. And when they struggled with that, he would offer a suggestion. When they asked him a question, he would answer the question. As a mentor, you want to answer questions thoroughly and completely, and then you want to ask another question to get the mentee taking responsibility for what they're learning, to get the mentee to reach inside themselves for those solutions. And when they struggle finding the solutions, offer some tips and some guidance, and then ask another question. Socratic method mentoring is the most effective method of mentoring. It allows us to understand what's going on with the mentee so that we can guide them appropriately. The number one if you get nothing else out of today's talk as a leader, the number one question as a mentor, now whether this is in regular life or at work, the number one question that you can ask your mentee is, how can I support you? What kind of support do you need from me to help you move to that place that you want to move in? How can I mentor you most effectively? What do you need from me? And then tune in and do what they ask. If you can't do what they ask, find or suggest somebody that can. Or find a new mentee or find a new mentor for them is the basic thing. But the number one question you can ask as a mentor, whether it's at work or in life, is how can I support you best? What do you need to learn from me, and how do you learn? It's important to surround yourself with a team and with people that fit with who you are as a leader. If you can't mentor the person the way they need to be mentored, then find somebody else on your team that can, or replace that person with somebody that fits with your culture so that you can mentor them and so that your team can thrive. There's always weak links and strong links on a team. And in the weakest link, if we can't move them up, then we need to replace them with somebody that can fit with the culture. You can formalize your mentoring, and I'm going to give you some steps today to formalize your mentoring. Before I do that, go to findamentor.com, and we have a tools and tips section. There's about 10 tools and tips. And in that section, we talk about different types of mentoring. We give you some forms for mentor sessions. We give you some ideas on what a good mentor is. We give you some ideas on what a good mentee is. We talk about masterminding. Masterminding is a form of mentoring. It's either peer mentoring or group mentoring. But use the tools and tips at findamentor.com to help you become a good mentor or a good mentee. Today I'm going to give you some tips, real simple process for formalizing the mentoring that you're involved in at work right now or in life. And I'm going to use the mentor as an acronym. M stands for mention it. Get agreement on mentoring. E stands for evaluate the person or the employee or the mentee. N stands for new goals. T stands for tune in. Ask what's going on. Stay tuned in to what the mentee's needs are. O stands for organize yourself to be a good mentor and organize a system for mentoring this individual. And R stands for record the sessions. That's what the mentor acronym is today for the formal mentor process. So let's start at the beginning. Mention it. Make sure you get agreement on the mentoring. Does this person want to be mentored by you? Or do they want to be mentored by somebody else? Is there a fit? Do we need to change it out? Do we need to find them? Do we need to get a new mentee for us? But mention it and get agreement on the mentoring process. E stands for evaluate the employee. Ask questions to evaluate where they are now. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? You notice that we're going through a whole bunch of questions. This is Socratic mentoring. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? Where do they need to improve? Where can they help other people? Identify the weaknesses and strengths. Evaluate the employee. New goals identification process. We want to identify the goals that the mentee wants to work on. What skills do they need to learn that will make them better at what they're doing, what their job is? What emotions do they need to enhance? Do they need more confidence? Do they need more enthusiasm? Do they need more determination? Do they need more attention to detail? Do they need to be more perseverant or persistent? Find out the emotional aspects of their personality that they need to work on to help them succeed in this area and develop. And if people need more confidence, the number one way to build confidence in an individual is to give them lots of positive affirmation for the things that they do well. When we are told that we're doing a good job, we feel good about ourselves and we feel more confident. The number one thing you can do to build emotional strength in the people that you lead is to give them lots of positive affirmation. What industry knowledge does the mentee need to learn? Are there courses that we can send them on? Find this all out. Identify the goals for the mentee. And then ask how you can support them. What is the best way that I can support you? What type of questions do you want me to ask? How do you want me to ask questions? How often do you need me to check in with you? Ask what kind of support they need, and then adapt yourselves to that. Tune in to how the mentee leans. T in mentor stands for tune in. Ask how they learn and listen to what they've said, and then adjust the appropriate plan to help them get to the goals that they want to get to. O in mentor stands for organize yourself and a system to mentor them. Make a schedule for how often the mentoring sessions are going to be. Make a schedule for the mentee and how they're going to learn the specific goals that you've identified. Write down the objectives. Get clear on what they need to be mentored on, what their goals are. Organize the system, how often you're going to meet, whether it's going to be on the phone or in person. And R in mentor stands for record the sessions. The number one way to help us speed up the achievement of our goals is to record our goals and write them down, and then make ourselves accountable or report on our progress. This is why mentoring is so effective. Gail Matthews of Dominican University did a study right around the turn of the century, because so many people have been talking about writing goals down, and that's the number one rule in success, is to write your goals down. Did it actually work? Gail Matthews decided she was going to do a study to see if it does actually work. And so she put people into 3 groups. One group wrote their goals down. One group didn't write their goals down. One group wrote their goals down and then reported on their progress to a friend or a colleague or a mentor. And what she found was the people who wrote their goals down and reported on their progress achieved more of their goals and quicker than the other 2 groups combined. So the R in this mentor formula stands for record the sessions. Ask the mentee, first thing in your mentor session, how did you do? Have the session, the recording of the last session with you, and record it in writing or record it on video, but go through the last session. Here's what we talked about last session. Have you achieved your goals? Where are you at on the goals that we set for you last session? And go over them. The mentee is reporting on their progress, and it makes them more determined. It invokes positive emotion that makes them want to achieve those goals and work harder at it. Get them to report on their progress. And then simply record the new goals that you're setting in this session. What are you going to work on between now and the next session? And write it down. So you record the information, record the goals, record the progress, go over that progress in each mentee and mentor session, and you'll notice that your mentees and your coworkers and your workers will achieve their goals quicker, faster, and with more ease than if you just leave it up to chance. So mentoring is happening naturally in your work environment. How is it working for you? If you formalize it a little bit, it will work better. If you record the sessions, if you get agreement on the how-to process, if you ask how you can support them effectively, you will find that your work team gels, that they'll start hitting on all cylinders, that they'll outperform the competition, and that you will achieve your goals as individuals and as a group much more effectively if the mentoring is effective in your work environment. So mentor, mention it, get agreement on the mentoring process, evaluate the employee, ask where they need to improve, identify their weaknesses and their strengths. Write down the new goals identification. 3rd step, tune in. Listen to what the mentee is telling you, and then adjust your plan and your process for mentoring accordingly. Tune in. Organize yourself as a mentor and your sessions, your system to mentor your employees. Organize it. Know what you need to do. Record it all. Make a schedule. Set for meetings. agree on the system to teach them, ask them how they want to be learned, how they learn, and then adjust accordingly. And write down the objective of what this mentoring process that you're involved in is. And the R stands for record the sessions. Make people accountable. Allow them, build a system so that they are reporting on their progress for the goals that you've set in this mentoring relationship. When you give your people a place to grow and learn and achieve, and you support them how they need to be supported, your team will shine. They'll outperform the competition. You'll have a happy team that wants to come to work, and you'll have some fun. If you need more tips on the mentoring process, because mentoring is always a communications process, don't hesitate to go to findamentor.com, check the tools and tips up in the top bar. There's a drop-down menu, and we provide quite a few tools and tips. Check that out. To become a great communicator, mentoring is only part of communicating. There's a whole bunch of processes that you can learn to become a great communicator, because the best leaders are the best communicators. At the Success Tool Chest blog, we post all of our Help Me Communicate videos. There's 20 of them there right now. We started this about 20 weeks ago, actually 19 weeks ago, and all of the videos are posted there. Do you know, you're not sure what to say in crucial conversations, you're not sure how to fire somebody, you're not sure how to ask for a raise, all these tools and tips are posted at the Success Tool Chest blog. Don't hesitate to go get them. They're free. You can sign up for our Contact, Communications, and Masterminding program. It's only $199. It helps you become a great communicator. I support you on a weekly basis in that program. It's only, like I say, $199. Don't forget to like our Facebook videos here. Tell your friends about them. Go out and make it an awesome day. Thank you for watching. Help Me Communicate this week, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Go out and make it an awesome day. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed today's video.